Welcome to yet another episode of The Explainer. In the summer of 1983, the idea of an athletic upset was put to the absolute test. The West Indies squad arrived in England carrying an aura of absolute invulnerability. Armed with a hostile battery of fast bowlers, they had already won the first two editions of the World Cup and were actively hunting a third. Captain Clive Lloyd had engineered a machine that routinely dismantled international opponents. Under his command, the team possessed a level of talent and aggression that the rest of the world simply could not match. It was a dynasty at the absolute peak of its power. For the global sports community and the bookmakers taking bets in London, a West Indies defeat was a statistical impossibility. By contrast, the Indian squad entered the 1983 tournament with a dismal track record. Across the previous two World Cups, they had managed exactly one victory against East Africa. The bookies in London evaluated their chances of winning the tournament at 66-1. The players themselves shared this assessment. For many on the roster, the trip to England was an all-expenses-paid vacation. Their primary concerns were organizing sightseeing trips to Trafalgar Square and securing reliable vegetarian food for lunch. There was no championship psychology or long-term strategic plan. They arrived prepared to play their group matches, pack their bags, and fly home. India managed to scrape an opening victory against the West Indies, but rather than building momentum, the early win bred a dangerous sense of complacency within the squad. This chart shows the run-to-wicket ratio during their must-win group match against Zimbabwe. On a cold, moving pitch at Tunbridge Wells, the Indian top order completely disintegrated, losing 5 wickets for just 17 runs. Because of a BBC strike, the network deemed the match too insignificant to film. The cameras were off. Facing elimination, Captain Kapil Dev walked to the crease and compiled an unbeaten 175 runs off 138 balls, dragging the final total up to 266. In 1983, compiling 175 runs as an individual in a 60-over match defied the known limits of the format. Most complete teams struggled to reach that number collectively. Witnessing their captains single-handedly reverse a guaranteed elimination wiped the tourist mentality from the squad. They survived the group stage, defeated Australia and England, and booked their place in the final. On June 25th, at Lord's Cricket Ground, India faced the West Indies for the championship. Put into bat on a green track against Malcolm Marshall and Andy Roberts, India was bowled out for an anemic 183 runs. During the innings break, Kapil Dev gathered his team. He refused to acknowledge the low score as a failure, explicitly labeling the 183 runs as a fighting total that required active defense. The tactical defense began immediately. Medium pacer Balwinder Sandhu delivered a ball to Gordon Greenwich that jagged sharply inward off the pitch, a delivery famously dubbed the banana skin, clipping the stumps and removing the opening batsman. The West Indies responded with brute force. Viv Richards stepped up and immediately began pulling and driving the Indian attack, accumulating 33 runs in quick succession and threatening to finish the run chase single-handedly. Facing an assault that could end the match, Kapil Dev tracked a mistimed pull shot from Richards, sprinting backward toward deep square leg to secure a high-pressure catch over his shoulder. With the primary threat removed, Mohinder Amarnath systematically dismantled the lower order. He delivered 7 overs, giving up only 12 runs while taking 3 wickets, formally bowling the West Indies out for 140. India did not out-hit their opponents. They successfully defended a severe run deficit through highly disciplined bowling, flawless fielding under pressure, and a collective refusal to concede. As the final wicket fell, the crowd at Lord's rushed past the boundary ropes to swarm the field. The 66-1 underdogs had dismantled the sport's greatest dynasty. When Kapil Dev lifted the trophy on the balcony, West Indies captain Clive Lloyd offered a stark assessment to the press. Indian cricket has arrived, and it's here to stay. The victory triggered an immediate geopolitical realignment. Control over the sport's scheduling, hosting rights, and rules had historically rested with the aristocratic British establishment. That monopoly was now broken. Look at this area chart. Before 1983, global cricket revenues were essentially flat, but the World Cup victory activated a massive subcontinental audience. Broadcasting rights and corporate sponsorships flooded in, generating an exponential growth curve that birthed a multi-billion-dollar sports economy. A generation of children watched their national team secure the ultimate prize. Future icons like Sachin Tendulkar saw absolute proof that global dominance was a realistic, achievable target. If you like it, then like and subscribe my channel, and we'll see you in the next one. The 1983 World Cup served as the specific economic and cultural catalyst that permanently rewrote the global map of cricket.